Hey, what's going on? I had a message sent to me about ways to help build muscle or put on size for hard gainers or just people trying to look bigger in general. The three most important factors that I could give you a short answer would be mechanical tension, which is going to be uh, the two best ways are going to be heavy loads with lighter reps, 1 to 6 reps, and moderate loads of like 7 to 15 reps, taken to failure or near failure. And the best way to go about that is to program. So you're doing, 3 to 4 weeks on of either the heavier or moderate, and then taking a deload week, allowing your body to super compensate and recover, and then come back and do 3 to 4 weeks of the opposite of either the heavier or lower. Or you can do some undulating type where you're doing, a heavy day and 2 moderate days a week, or 2 and 2, or however you want to split it up. But just make sure you're programming your sessions to have some progressive overload where you're not just doing the same thing all the time. The second is muscle damage, and the best way to go about doing that is the eccentric part of the lift. So there's 3 phases to the lift. You have the concentric, the eccentric, and the isometric. So let's just use a bicep curl, for example. The concentric is going to be the shortening of the muscle. The eccentric is going to be the lengthening of the muscle. And the isometric would be where the weight doesn't move. So the focusing on the lowering part of the movement is going to be the eccentric, which is going to cause the most damage to the muscle fiber, and that's going to allow it to break down. So when you properly add in back in your nutrition or your recovery, it's going to come back bigger and stronger the next time. And the third is metabolic stress, and the biggest factor there is time under tension, and that is basically the length of time it takes you to do a rep. And that comes back to the 3 phases, the concentric, the eccentric, and the isometric. Play around with the time under tension. A lot of guys, you see them do their 4 sets of 10, but it only takes them 1 to 2 seconds to do a rep, where they're just pumping them out real fast. Focus on, when you're doing the moderate weight, lowering the eccentric part slower. So maybe you're doing a 2 count down, a 1 second pause, and a 1 press up. That's a 4 second rep. Where it takes you 10 reps, it takes you 40 seconds, where maybe you're doing 10 reps before and it took you only 10 seconds. That's 30 more seconds of stress on your muscle, which is going to cause a lot more damage. But that's a good damage you want, so when you recover, it's going to repair and come back again bigger and stronger. And again, those two best ways to do that are with heavier reps that you're going to move as fast as you can, but it's going to feel slower, or failure or near failure on your moderate reps with the 7 to 15 rep range. So couple that in with proper nutrition. Always recover post-workout within 45 minutes. Try to eat some carbs and protein with a 2-to-1 ratio of, let's say, you're getting 25 grams of protein. We're going to shoot for at least 50 grams of carbs. Eat that with a meal, or get a replacement drink or a protein shake that has carbs in it. And make sure you're just getting proper sleep every night, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, drinking plenty of water during the day, getting proper rest, because your body repairs itself and grows during the recovery, not the breaking down when you're actually working out. That's breaking down the muscle. You want it to recover and repair and get bigger and stronger. That's where you give yourself either time off or your proper nutrition, proper sleep, adequate water intake. All those play into building muscle, especially for hard gainers and stuff like that. And if you are a hard gainer, a naturally thinner person, you got to increase those calories. You got to really focus on your intake. You got to add another 500 calories a day plus. Start with that for a week or two, and if you feel like you're gaining or you're not, add more. Add another 250 a day. Keep playing with it until you figure it out. Don't just assume you can't put on muscle. Everybody can. It's just sometimes it's a little harder or easier for different people. So I hope this helps, and thanks for asking.